welcome to a tropical weather checkup for September 8th. Today we're going to be looking at Tropical Storm Paulette and Tropical Storm Rene, also at Invest 94L at the very end. Enjoy. And here's the radar imagery of Paulette. Looks very organized, actually, compared to yesterday. Here's the cloud fall. You can see the general convective area of where Paulette is, and water temperatures ahead for the storm are actually very warm, and that's why they expect it to strengthen gradually, then weaken a bit, then actually strengthen again at the end as it enters some warmer waters closer to the coast. Now looking at past 24-hour precipitation, you can clearly see that northeast side is by far the strongest side of Paulette, just looking at the past 24-hour precipitation. And now at wind speed, you'll also see that northeast side is the strongest side of the storm right now. Now looking at Paulette's current intensity, 100 kilometer per hour winds, 995 millibars of pressure, and moving northwest at 13 kilometers per hour. As we continue on throughout the next couple of days, it will continue that west trend, a bit west-northwest, and then it will start to accelerate pretty fast towards the northwest. Now looking at the infrared imagery of the storm again, that northeast side is clearly the strongest, and you can probably see it best on the infrared and the water vapor images of this storm. Now looking at the cone for the storm, not much interesting. There's no land in the cone, and there's also currently no watches or warnings in effect for the storm. Chance of tropical storm force winds, no land currently in that area. The only place it could really affect is Bermuda, and the models show that actually, as a lot of models have the storm passing very close by, even maybe over Bermuda. And here's the other current tropical system in the Atlantic. It is Tropical Storm Rene. I was pronouncing it wrong last time. It's actually Rene, not Rene. But by the radar imagery, much more disorganized, not as organized as Paulette or anywhere close, honestly. Looking at the cloud fall, you can just see how disorganized and actually tiny the storm is. The storm's not that large. And again, very disorganized. Water temperatures pretty warm ahead for the storm until it makes that curve towards the north, and that's why they expect it to weaken once it makes that curve towards the northeast. Now looking at past 24-hour precipitation, you can see that area over the Cape Verde Islands. There's a lot of greens, even some reds and yellows over that one island right there. But honestly, not as much rain as Paulette has dropped in the last couple of days. Wind speed also lower than Paulette. As you can see, there's a very tiny area of strong wind speed. Now we're taking a look at the storm's intensity: 65 kilometer per hour winds, 1,001 millibars of pressure, and moving west at 26 kilometers per hour. It will continue that western northwest trend until it starts to go more towards the northwest and actually become a hurricane, and then probably after it makes that northwest and then eventually northeast turn, it will weaken again as it enters colder waters. And just like the cloud fall, the infrared shows just how disorganized the storm is. It's really broken up into a couple of pieces. Eventually those should form together as it starts to strengthen, but for right now, very disorganized storm, and you can also see that in the water vapor output of this storm. Now looking at the cone, nothing really interesting, no land in that cone, and no watches or warnings in effect for anywhere, as it's not expected to really hit any land. Cape Verde is probably going to be the most affected area by the storm, and the models say the exact same thing. Really no land interaction. And now I'm going to be doing something I've never done in a tropical weather checkup, and that is looking at an invest and not a tropical depression or a tropical storm. If you're new, an invest is basically a storm that can form into a hurricane, tropical storm, etc. And right now you can see it on your screen, that area of high convective thunderstorm activity out in the ocean, currently moving towards the Carolinas and Virginia. I'm only be looking at the radar and the wind speed because there's not really much to show with the storm other than that. I don't have an intensity on it or anything like that, but looking at the wind speed, you can see not that strong of winds, but as it starts to strengthen up until it makes landfall, it will probably have some higher wind speeds. And the other thing I can show with this storm are the models. There's only a couple of models on this, but all of them really say the same thing, and it doesn't look good for North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. Those states are probably going to be the most affected by this storm, if it even does form into a tropical depression or tropical storm. Thanks for watching this video. If you're watching right now, you can see the entire Atlantic output: Tropical Storm Paulette, Tropical Storm Rene, Invest 94L, and there's another Invest just coming off the coast of Africa, which has a very high chance of forming. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye.